What up? What up? What up, world? I'm excited because the gang is all back. Frank's been on a freaking fishing expedition for who knows how long. He's back. I got Anthony with me. You're at the Get Right Fantasy Network. We're not, hey, sleeves are so high. We're not even wearing long sleeves. Look at that thing. I'm seeing shoulder right there.
We're getting there.
Guys, thanks for being here.
What's up, Betty? How's it going?
What's up, everybody?
I'm ready to do this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm already pissed. We're going over rankings.
Oh, that's a good reason.
Yes. I got stuff bottled up. We need to get out of our system. I'm gonna try to stick to the top 5. I will try my hardest. Let's hit the intro. All right, jumping right into it. No surprises with who you guys are ranking as your number 1 quarterback. Patrick couldn't pull it off Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, can't knock the guy for not trying. I mean, he was throwing touchdowns in the dude's chest sideways. You know what I mean? All they had to do was catch the ball. So,
or just let it get stuck in the face mask a couple times would have worked just as well.
Would have worked just as well, but
how come he can't do
that's
that?
what he was trying.
I mean, I said not for not trying. Anyway, so I mean, obviously he's the clear-cut number 1. Who else is going to be beating his numbers that he throws up every week with the receiving core that he has and just his arm ability? It would be dumb to rank anybody else. We've seen it. You know, he's obviously consistent and can continue to do that year in, year out. So till further notice, he'll be the number 1.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree. So not much to say there. I'm pretty sure pretty much most people, he's coming off the board before a lot of receivers and running backs. So,
yeah, I mean, he's coming off
at
the end of round 1, somewhere around 2. So people are reaching for him. Even they want to have him on your team. So I mean, a quarterback above other players, it's just kind of crazy to me. But yeah. Y'all keep doing that for me. Thanks.
Okay, so you guys have a clear consensus there based on the drafts that I've been a part of. Josh Allen, you guys both have him ranked as your number 2 quarterback coming into this year's fantasy. I will say that's hard to disagree with. However, I'm not really seeing that on the draft boards. And we could reference even the one that we did on Friday.
Yeah, he was the second one off the board on the one on Friday.
Is he that far of a drop from Patrick, or?
I mean, I think he's right there. You're not taking him as high as Patrick Mahomes because we haven't seen him be able to put up consistent like 40+ point, games, I'd say. But he's knocking on the door with that. So I'd say, again, we both have him as the number 2. I mean, we're not splitting hairs about it. I mean, it's pretty clear he's there 2 or 3 at the worst.
I mean, every year he's improved. He's got some good wide receivers over there. He's gone from 2,000 yards, 3,000 yards to 5,000 yards almost last year, 4,544 there, and 10 touchdowns, 20 touchdowns, 37 touchdowns last year.
That's almost 5,000, Frank.
Yeah.
45, 44 is almost 5,000.
All right.
We're really rounding up.
Yeah, we're rounding up.
Hey, there's going to be a 17th game, right? The's going to be a 17th game this year.
All you got to do.
Hey, he gets a 400.
He gets the inflation.
What is it? 456-yard game away, right?
Exactly. He's not too far behind.
Hey, so now that those are out of the way, I mean, those ones kind of obvious, right? Anthony, who you got ranked number 3? Break it down. Who you got?
I mean, to me, I have the number 3 quarterback overall in fantasy. It's clearly Dakota let it rain Prescott, right? I mean, again, he, as of last year, had 26.9 fantasy points per game. Obviously, when the five games he played, he put up almost 2,000 yards and 9 touchdowns, only 4 picks, and had another 3 rushing touchdowns as well, and a receiving touchdown as well. So, I mean, this man was just making it rain all over the field. And, you project that out over a full now 17 games. I think I said on one of our earlier shows that he'd be right up there. He would have been right up there with Mahomes. He would have been in that top 3, which is where I have him. Interestingly enough, put my money where my mouth is.
We
I
all
may
know.
slide him up, but the only reason I don't have him in my top 3 is because of the injury. And I need to see it. I need to see him on the field. I need to see that he's still moving well, that he could cut right, that he could do what he has to do to be Dak Prescott. And that's the only knock I have on him is the injury from last year. And it's my major concern and why he's at number 4 for me versus number 3, or even maybe even higher. I might move him up to number 2, depending after preseason and seeing him play. You know what I mean? Like literally I'll move him to number 2, no problem. I just need to see it play. I'm just ranking him here now based on today.
No, hey, and that's a very good point for both you guys. We know that Dak the year before had 4,902 yards, big boy numbers. He was on track to break all sorts of records last year. But I think that's fair to say. Let's see what happens when he comes back. We know he's walking fine. He's already starting his workout. Looks like he's going to be there start of the season. I think that's fair. So, Frank, you had none other than Kyler Murray as your number 3 quarterback. And that was your guys' first inconsistency in your 2 rankings.
Yeah, I think Kyler Murray will take a step up this year. And I think he's in a good situation. He's been playing very well. He's got a good core of receivers, and the running backs are, his running backs phenomenal. So I think that he's going to be doing all right.
Me personally, I was very high on Kyler Murray last year. I won't be this year. I think he's too high in your rankings. I think in a lot of our heads, we have Kyler Murray so high up there because he does have the talent, but why didn't he do it last year? My man hasn't even hit 4,000 yards passing. We know he's a dynamic running back, so depending on how strict your points are, I can see in certain leagues that he'd be up there if you're going for the rushing points. But at that case, I'm not going to put him even that much higher than Lamar. Hit 4,000 yards, my guy.
Yeah, especially in today's NFL. You have to be almost thrown over for 4,000 yards to be considered.
I mean,
but again,
39.71 is not that far off 4,000. That's all I'm saying.
Right, but
30-something yards, you get him 4,000. So I think he can get 30-something yards next season to get 4,000.
Or can he? Or is he going to throw another interception? That's his big issue. Is of these guys, he's scoring 26.9 points per game last year in a 6-point per touchdown league, and his problem is those interceptions. I mean, he had 11 touchdowns on the ground. So he was scoring enough on the ground, which is what makes up for that. 819 yards and 11 touchdowns. I mean, he was the best running back in Arizona last year. And that's the problem, is he's the best running back on the team. So, and he happens to throw the ball for almost 4,000 yards too. So I have him at 6. He just does. He just clips my top 5 for the reasons we just discussed. I have to see him take that step forward this year. Is he going to stay in the pocket instead of take off and make those throws down the field and get those extra 30 yards, or is he going to go run for 8?
Yeah, but I like those yards.
True. Yeah, and again, I mean, I'm at
819 yards is nothing to shy away from. You know what I mean? That's fantasy points.
Absolutely. But I definitely have 2 more guys ahead of him that are real quarterbacks as of right now today, if we want to talk about now.
Yeah. I mean, you got Rodgers next.
I'd say last year's MVP. That's
thank you.
Kind of led me right into that. Just kind of laid out my red carpet for me there. Probably almost disrespecting putting him, even down here at number 4.
What?
even
disrespecting having him at 4. Oh, let's get to this, guys. This is the topic I've been waiting for.
Well, obviously, and we'll get into it here, there's kind of a consensus as far as who the number one receiver might be, and this guy might just be the guy who's throwing to that guy. So if we think that highly of the receiver he's throwing through, we must naturally have to think that highly of the quarterback that's throwing him the ball. He can make every throw on the field. He's pretty much seen it all at this point. A lot of his problems come in the leadership area, not so much on the physical, aspect of the game. I think, again, he is getting older. Maybe he sees kind of what's going on, and if he's willing to change some things, we'll see. I saw him do a little less of it last year, and we saw what happened. He played at an MVP level, without Devontae for a couple of games. So he has there's nothing really changed there to say he can't go out there and do it again. So,
and that's the problem.
Strap our boots up and let's do it.
Nothing has ever changed in Green Bay. Green Bay didn't add a single person.
What you're gonna get.
They lost people this year. Last year's going to be right. Okay, Rodgers had a crazy year, right? Let me even break it down. 48 touchdowns to 5 interceptions is ridiculous. I cannot knock him for that. But that season is out of nowhere. He didn't even throw for 4,300 yards. Is a 1 yard short. Frank, we're getting technical. Hey, but that's who I'm mad at. I'm not mad at Aaron Rodgers. He's doing what he can do. When is the last time? Who is the last person that Green Bay even picked up? They've done nothing. You can look at every single team and they're picking people up. They're plugging people in and make their team better. Not Green Bay. I cannot tell you the last notable signing that Green Bay had.
I'm with you on that because that's why I don't have him right there. I think he's getting older, and he'll have some regression. He's not going to get another 48 touchdowns this year. There's no way. This is the first time he's done it, and he averages 20 something, 25, 26. Even the 30s touchdowns. That was that's not going to happen again. There's got to be some regression. So that's why I won't put him up there. The age and regression and not changing the team doesn't help him any. They didn't do anything to bring help. Now, if they brought help, I think that would be better. And if they, showed up their, offensive line and things like that, then I would continue. But he does do Rodgers things. He does, he is very good. I mean, I ain't gonna knock the guy, but I really don't like him anyway. So, it's not gonna be on my list.
Hey, I love the brutal honesty. I love the brutal honesty.
For all the reasons,
that's why I have Dak at that spot. That's why I have Dak at that spot. That's why I mentioned I could even move Dak up from number 4 to number 2. And would you move Rodgers up to the number 2?
Well, that's what I was just about to say is if they did any of those things that you guys have been mentioning that they haven't done, if they did any of that, he would be up there at number 2, number 1.
Yeah, and that's why
if they gave him a Tyreek
and that's why he's not.
Exactly.
Exactly why he's not.
Just on that plain talent alone, reigning MVP of the league, I don't think he's going to fall off a cliff that bad. And again, I'll take his experience. Now, in the playoffs might be another story. That weather is just brutal there. But anyway, we'll get to that later.
I think there's some honorable mentions.
It sounds like he's making excuses for him.
We didn't even get to number 5 yet.
Let's talk about it.
You got at 5.
I got Justin Herbert at number 5. Right? I did Justin Herbert at number 5.
That's my shot.
I think that's a solid pick.
And I believe that this guy is going to be something special. Somebody, 43, 36 last year, 31 touchdowns, 10 INTs. Those are good, solid numbers, and rookie numbers at that. So he's only got.
He didn't even play a full year.
He's only got, what do you call it? That's the floor. You know what I mean? Like literally, that's what he came out there and did his first year. Young, and unlike Aaron Rodgers, old, and he's got some weapons around him. So he's got plenty of upside for him, and that's why I moved him up to number 5 to take a shot at this guy, over some of these other guys. You know what I mean? Because who are you going to go for? Russell Wilson? I mean, come on, that guy's getting old too.
Yes, absolutely. Perfect segue. Perfect segue to my number 5 is Russell Wilson. Yeah. Absolutely, because for all those reasons you just mentioned, there's those kind of question marks and concerns there, with Herbert. He truly only has one receiver there. Since our last video, Mike Williams is now re-signed, which I think was at least good. So there's some consistency there, but that guy's never been able to really stay healthy. He can never really catch the ball. He'll have one good catch and 3 terrible drops. So that's
But he
why
still was
Keenan
able to
Allen
put up
gets
those
16
numbers.
targets.
He was still.
But that's why
able
he
to
gets 16 targets. That's
Hey,
why Keenan
so
Allen
now
gets
you know who to
16
get,
targets.
right? It makes it
Exactly.
easy to figure out what wide receiver to go for over there.
Right. So yeah. So to me, that's why you have to put Russell Wilson at number 5. Last year he was playing at an
He just
MVP
wanted to go
level
with a
of
steady 80 guy. I get it, and he also had a good season last year.
The only reason he has him there, he's a Matt Ryan hater. If Matt Ryan doesn't make either of your guys' top 5s, we want to talk
Ryan's
about
not in.
stats.
No, he's not.
Show me when Matt Ryan didn't get 4,000 yards. Show me. Let's see. Twice in his whole career, he got under 4,500 yards. You take the name off the jersey, Anthony, you're picking this guy's stats. He's making your top 5. Frank, you know it too. Kyler Murray should be going down, but we're going to break down even more of this. We're going to go through even deeper in our quarterback rankings. We're going to touch our running backs, wide receivers. Tight ends is going to be tough to do, but we are going to do a tight end show. Anthony, Frank,
Honorable mentions.
To be continued.
All right.
Take care, guys.
All right. Thanks.